base rules already?
Alright, I'm Major General Smith, and I'll be doing your interview today.
Nice to meet you, man.
Alright, Mr. Alright, Mr. Anyways, are you familiar with RP 13, 14, and 5 base rules, sir?
RP 13 and 14, yes, I am familiar with those two rules. Um, I am from the Lomita server army. I used to be a hard hat there. I worked my way up to the rank of a hard hat there before I retired. I believe I can recall a few of the rules.
Great, 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 great. So can you tell Miss Brooke here, sorry, Mrs. Brooke, what is RP 13?
Yes, sir. Give me 1 second. RP 13 is faction NRP, and RP 14 is sexual assault.
I'm gonna drop those two macros in the chat so you can get a little more familiar with them. So RP13 is a non-faction like roleplay, basically. But if you want to be furthermore with it, you can just put once a soldier, you must act and behave like a soldier. Failure to do so can result in removal from the faction. And RP14, sexual harassment or discrimination of any kind is not tolerated. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so are you familiar with like the five base rules?
I am familiar with a few of them. It's been a while since I've been in the army, sir.
Alright, go ahead and tell me what you know.
We can't ride around in vehicles while on base. Either our own or military vehicles, unless a general has given us approval to do so.
Alright, so I'm gonna tell you them. However, these will be sent to your inbox and Discord so you can practice them because you'll need these for your rank up interviews when it's time. So, rule number one, no AFK. If you have something to do, please log out. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Rule number two, no spawning or driving vehicles on base without permission of a general. Rule number three, no unlawful shooting of gang members, civilians, PD, or fellow soldiers. Rule number four, most important one, respect all soldiers, especially your high ranks. Rule number five, no leaving base without permission, and you must have an escort, which will be a colonel or a general. However, once you become a lieutenant, you can request to leave. You can request time off that will be in Discord and leave the base by yourself. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Or you can go ahead and let me just drop the question.
Alright, what does respect mean to you?
Brooke,
What respect means to me, respect is a two-way street. You give respect to earn respect, no matter what the situation
Alright,
is.
and why do you want to join the army?
protect the citizens of one state.
How should you address higher ranks and civilians?
The respectful way.
which is
Make sure they're not talking. If they're talking to somebody, wait for them to finish their conversation, and then politely ask them if they have the time to speak to you.
all right. Question is, how should we address? Meaning, how? What will you call, for instance, Mrs. Brooke over here? What would you call her?
I would call her by her rank and name.
All right. So you address higher ranks. Matter of fact, you address everybody in the army. I'm gonna just put it this way first, then I'm gonna put it the other way second. All right. So you address your higher ranks as sir or ma'am. Same goes for any civilian. If you don't want to address your lower ranks as sir or ma'am, you will address them as their rank. So if they're a recruit, you will say recruit time, private time, sergeant time, first sergeant time, etc. Whatever their rank is. If you don't want to say sir or ma'am or mister or miss or Mrs. Do you understand that, sir?
Alright, how many
Yes, sir.
hours can you be active on the game a day?
I can be active most of the day, mostly from sun up to sundown.
What does AFK stand for?
Away from
Are
keyboard.
you allowed to shoot, tase, or kill fellow soldier for fun?
No,
Can you leave the army base whenever you want?
no, you cannot. Only time you're allowed to leave the army base is without a higher up with you, and you have to have approval from them.
And are you allowed to take a military vehicle for personal use?
No, no, you
Do you
cannot.
know what to do if a civilian enters the base?
Tell them to leave. If they don't leave, drop a macro and kill them.
Sir, no, sir. I'm gonna give you a little scenario that I give everybody. However, you will have training for this, so you don't need to worry about it. Say a civilian enters the base in a moving car. If you're gonna drop your taser macro, that will be your third macro. You have two taser macro. That you will drop the third one, and then you'll chase them out of the vehicle. Tell them as soon as they get up to follow you off the base. This is restricted area because the whole military base is restricted area, as you know. And tell them to do not get back in their vehicle. They will be escorted off the base by you. And if they still don't want to comply to that and get back in their vehicle, you're gonna drop the same macro, chase them out of the vehicle, tell them to follow you off the base. And also, you're gonna drop your three warning macros. That will be your last three macros. And if they still don't want to comply to those warning macros, you're gonna do a 5 second countdown. After you do that 5 second countdown, you get them, tell them to follow you one more time. Still don't want to comply. You drop your second macro, which will be your shooting macro. Send them straight back to HP. However, you don't gotta give them, you don't gotta tell them to follow you no more after you do that countdown. That's just my opinion. You feel me?
Copy that.
And always, yeah, always use your macros. Remember that.
Alright, do you know how many warnings equal a reprimand? Do you know how many
Repeat that again, ma'am.
warnings equal a reprimand?
No, ma'am. Only know that we get 3 reprimands before we are kicked out of the faction.
Right, Mr. Soul Snatcher. If you check on Army 10, you will see that it says 2 warnings are equal to 1 reprimand and three reps are equal to your dismissal from the faction. If you haven't received the army rules yet, they will be sent to you. However, they will be on Discord. I advise that you study them because you're gonna need them in the future. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Alright, by joining the army, you must follow all orders from your higher ups. Do you agree to these terms?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, Mr. Soul Snatcher, welcome to the faction. We're glad to have you, man.
Thank you.
Alright, you will now follow